All right, let's talk about something that no homeowner ever wants to find: mold. In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into your insurance policy to figure out what it actually covers and, probably more importantly, what it doesn't.
Okay, so you've spotted it. Mold. That is a gut punch moment for sure. And after that first wave of panic, what's the very next thought that pops into your head? Yep, is my insurance going to cover this?
And that one little question, well, the answer could literally be the difference between a manageable problem and a bill for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So let's get you some clarity on this so you can navigate the whole tricky situation. First up, let's really get a handle on the cost of mold, because it's not just about the health concerns or the gross factor, it's a massive financial problem that can get out of hand fast.
And when I say massive, I mean it. We are not talking about a few $100 for some cleaning supplies. For a really severe infestation, you could easily be looking at a bill north of $30,000 for professional remediation. That's a lot.
Yeah, the costs are kind of all over the place, but what's really telling here is that even a so-called minor issue can set you back $1,500. A moderate problem? You're looking at $10 grand. This is exactly why your insurance coverage is so critical.
Which, brings us right back to that $1 million or $30,000 question. Is your insurance actually going to pay for any of this? And, well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's complicated.
So, let's try to navigate this insurance maze together. To do that, you've really got to understand why insurance companies are so cagey about mold in the first place. Because believe it or not, it wasn't always this way.
This timeline pretty much tells the whole story. Back in the late 90s, everyone started getting really worried about toxic mold. Then, boom, in the early 2000s, insurance companies got absolutely slammed with billions with a B in claims. So what do? They rewrote all their policies to limit how much they'd have to pay out. And that's the world we're all living in today.
The result of all that? Well, most standard policies these days will cap your mold coverage at a pretty low number, usually somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. So think about it. Even if you are covered, that $10,000 limit doesn't even come close to touching that $30,000 bill we saw for a severe problem.
Okay, so this right here is the absolute core of the whole thing. When it comes to getting your mold claim paid, there's one golden rule that pretty much determines everything.
And here it is. It's all about how the water got there. Was it sudden and totally accidental? You're probably covered. Was it a slow, gradual leak that you really should have fixed? Nope, you're on your own. That is the line in the sand.
So let's look at some real-world examples of what's almost always covered. We're talking about those big, unexpected disasters, right? A pipe just bursts because of a freeze. Your dishwasher hose lets go and floods the kitchen. Or, a massive storm rips a hole in your roof. In these situations, the mold is just seen as a side effect of a bigger covered problem.
Now, on the other hand, these are the kinds of things that will get your claim denied almost every single time. A slow drip under the sink, a steamy bathroom with no fan. The insurance company looks at this stuff and just sees it as a basic maintenance issue. They're going to say, hey, you could have prevented this, and that's that.
Okay, so now that you know the rules of the game, what can you actually do about it? Let's talk about how you can actively boost your protection and build yourself a much stronger safety net.
This is probably the single most effective thing you can do. You can add something to your policy called a mold endorsement or a rider. And just look at the difference here. Your standard policy might give you, $5 or $10 grand? But for maybe $100, $200 a year, you can bump that coverage way up to $50,000 or even more. That's a game changer. So just to be super clear about what this thing is, it's just an add-on. It's an extra piece of paper in your policy that basically says, hey, we're giving you way more money for mold. It is without a doubt the best way to make sure you have a real financial backstop if things go really wrong.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Let's say the worst happens. You find mold, and you're pretty sure it's from something that should be covered. What do? You need a playbook. Here's your step-by-step guide to filing a claim that actually has a chance of winning.
You have to follow these steps, and you have to do them in order. First, document everything. Take photos, videos, before you touch a thing. Then call your insurance company immediately. Don't wait. Get a pro to come in and give you an independent report. Keep every single receipt for everything. And if they deny you, don't just give up. Appeal it. Seriously, being this methodical gives them the proof they need, and it's your absolute best shot at getting that claim approved. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Documentation, acting fast when you see water, and just taking care of your house. It all comes down to what you do. Your actions before and after you find mold
are your most powerful tools in this whole process. So, we've covered a lot. We've talked about the scary costs, the tricky rules, and what you can do about it. But if you're going to take away just one single action item from this whole explainer, what should it be?
This. Do this. Don't wait until you see a water stain on your ceiling. Go find your policy documents, like right now, and look for the declaration page. You're searching for words like mold, fungi, or sublimit. Find out what that number is. And if it's $5,000 and that number makes you nervous, pick up the phone and call your agent about adding that endorsement.
Because that's what it all boils down to, isn't it? Is your insurance policy a real safety net, or is it full of holes? When it comes to something like mold, you really want to know the answer to that question before you ever need it. That's the best protection there is.